First up this week is Sparkster. Yes, I know that this is the third game in a series that also includes 2 Mega Drive games. Yes, I would love to be able to play through all 3 of them. But 2011 is almost over and I'm currently playing through week 40 out of 67. So I decided for the sake of everybody's time, I'd pick one game in the Rocket Knight series to play. And since most people seem to think all 3 of them are good, but the Super NES one has better graphics, that's the one I've gone with. So Sparkster is an opossum, fair enough. Fits in with the millions of other anthropomorphic animals that were gaming mascots in the 90s, but this one's a bit different. This one's a knight. See, he's got armour and a sword, so he's a knight. He's also got a rocket pack on his back, so he's a rocket knight. Get it? Little Sparkster has some cool moves at his disposal. He can jet around the place, and he can use his trusty sword to dispense with the evil baddies, and that makes them run away in their underwear, which is pretty funny. One of the real appeals of this game is the variety in its level designs. You never know what's going to be happening in the next level. There's some really clever ideas. In this pyramid stage, for example, Sparkster falls under a curse, and not only are the left and right buttons reversed, but you swap buttons for jump and attack as well. Trickier than you might think. Later on you find yourself shot out of a cannon and flying around in a shmup level. Oh well, if anyone knows anything about shmups, it's Konami. Sparkster is very playable, but it's no walk in the park. In fact, I'd go so far as to say it's downright difficult in some parts. The difficulty isn't too frustrating. Most obstacles can be overcome by trying it a few times, and the game has passwords, which is a blessing. All up, it's a fun little action game that excels in its variety. Konami could have made it a bit more accessible, and there's nothing here to make it stand out as an all-time classic, but it's still fun to play, so it stands the test of time. Next up this week is Super The Empire Strikes Back. Yes, I said that correctly. Super The Empire Strikes Back. So this pretty much continues straight on from where Super Star Wars left off, and following the plot of what a lot of people consider to be the best movie. It didn't take me long to realise that if Super Star Wars was hard, Super The Empire Strikes Back is sadistic. It's just not much fun. The game throws a million obstacles at you, each one just as impossible to dodge as the last. And even though Luke should be awesomely super powerful with his lightsaber, I just died over and over again. The level design is almost non-existent, it's just a gauntlet of death for Luke and Co to traverse. I'll be honest, I didn't even make it off Hoth. This game isn't just difficult, it's just annoying. Not often do I abandon a game like this, but I was having the opposite of fun playing it. Looking back at episode 29, I said that the original Super Star Wars sat the test of time. This one doesn't fare so well, I'm afraid. The worst part is, I know there's still one more of them to come. I hope it's more fun than this one. Hey, has anyone else played the brand new Sonic Generations game this week? I'm kind of gobsmacked that Sonic Team still actually has it in them to make a cool new Sonic game. Who'd have thought it was possible? Anyway, this week I was already in the Sonic groove because I've been playing Sonic 3. Having played through the first 3 games a few months back, it's a series I'm clearly very fond of, and the third game, which is actually the 4th game, look, I still love it, okay? It's mostly a very logical progression from Sonic 2. There's an all-new 3D bonus level, Tails is still around, and he's still as useless as ever. There's also a new character, the pink echidna called Knuckles. At least we're supposed to believe that he's an echidna. It's like Sonic Team weren't even trying to make these look like real animals anymore. Anyway, Knuckles is pretty much just a knob. He steals all of Sonic's Chaos Emeralds at the start of the game and then just makes life annoying whenever he turns up. The graphics are much the same, although a bit more lush and wild looking than the previous ones. I like the way the levels flow on from each other more. Whenever Sonic and Tails reach the end of an Act 1, Act 2 just continues on from where they left off. The levels feel a bit more mazy than in previous Sonics too. It's not always heading in the general eastern direction. A couple of times I found myself saying, wait a minute, haven't I been here before? Which I never said with any of the other Sonic games. What else is new? This was the first Sonic to have save files. The music isn't too bad. Michael Jackson did a good job here. Wait, what? Michael Jackson? As in dead pop legend Michael Jackson? Uh-huh. His name doesn't appear anywhere on the credits, but it's pretty much common knowledge now that he worked on the music in Sonic 3. Check this out. I'll try and remember to post a YouTube video on my blog that investigates the whole controversy. Anyway, as usual, Sonic goes through a varied set of levels in an effort to defeat Dr. Robotnik again. So what does he find on this new island paradise? Angel Island is a wild jungle. There's lots of stuff to see and do, and a chance to try out all of Sonic 3's new shields. After that, it's Hydro City, which is reminiscent of the Labyrinth Zone from Sonic 1 in that it's half filled with water. Marble Garden is next. This place reminds me of the aquatic ruin in Sonic 2, although it hasn't got water. Instead, there's some earthquakes that change the layout of the land, some of which Sonic can affect himself. Carnival Night? Yeah, I'm starting to see a bit of a theme here. The designers were really looking to continue on with previous themes, that's for sure. Like Casino Night in Sonic 2, but with a bit less bumper action. Next up is the Ice Cap Zone. Ah, at last, an original looking area. And it's slippery slidey icy world. Not exactly what I'd call original, but there are some cool challenges here. After that, Sonic finds himself in the Launch Base Zone, the final hideout for Robotnik. Wait, that's it? 6 zones? Didn't Sonic 2 have almost double that amount? Here we discover one of Sonic 3's biggest flaws. It's actually pretty short. What we all realise in retrospect, of course, is that it's really only half the game. The other half, Sonic and Knuckles, would arrive about 8 months later and complete the set, as it were. I won't be looking at that today. It's scheduled to be played in episode 46. Apparently the levels in Sonic 3 were 3 times bigger than previously, but I honestly didn't notice it. The 10-minute level timer is the same as it always was, and I very seldom came close to running out of time, although it did happen twice, I will admit. Even the last boss feels underwhelming compared to Sonic 2. Look, only a fool would say that Sonic 3 is a bad game, but it's hard to say it's as good as its predecessor when it doesn't feel as long or as polished, but yeah, it's still a really well designed game, and it's a must-own for any Mega Drive players. So, coming up next week, it's the 6th Mega Man game and the 6th Castlevania game. See you then. May all your pieces be out.